Happy Wednesday morning. Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel coming at you. I appreciate you guys tuning in with me. Thank you guys that tuned in and stayed with me last night after the baseball game. Had a few of you in there checking it out. And of course, going up against basketball, going up against other things last night as well. And as I'm recording this, the basketball game is still going on. So I'm recording this to upload on Wednesday morning. It's about 8:11 on Tuesday night. But Tennessee versus ETSU goes off today at 4:30 p.m. Tennessee pulled one out last night, 3-2 against UNC Asheville. They go to 3-1 on the season, looking to go to 4-1 today. But man, this is one they're going to have to hit a little bit. The sticks were not only 5 hits last night. Now they had some kind of rough luck along the way. There were some hard hit balls. There were a few potential home runs that went foul. So, a lot to look into this game. I'm excited about this game. I mean, being from that area, ETSU, I want ETSU baseball to do well. This is the one time of the year I will not pull for ETSU against Tennessee. But, before we get any further, make sure you like this thing, share it, subscribe. Been getting some pretty good viewership on the baseball videos. Like I said, a little bit on the live last night, a little bit on the one Saturday night, which that was late last night going to get basketball. We'll stay with it, man. Try to build this thing, build up a brand, build up a baseball brand. As like I've said, it's a unique thing because there's other channels covering it. I don't see any doing the post-game shows with it. I don't see any being as thorough with it. Doesn't mean anything. It just means I'm going to be the most thorough and going to have the most extensive coverage of any independent on baseball. But let's get right into this thing. As ETSU come out of the weekend, they had a big weekend against Lafayette. As they come out of that weekend, and it was pretty interesting looking at some of their statistics and looking at their write-up on it, as they won their games over the weekend. Let me find these scores again: 27-7, 15-5, and 13-1. Now, I don't know how good Lafayette is or anything, but the fact that East Tennessee State did that's impressive. That is an impressive weekend. And it said it was one of their most impressive, maybe it said in quite some time. So they hit over the weekend 373 as a team, 41 hits, 21 extra base hits. They walked 30 times, on base percentage of .526. They scored 55 runs over the weekend. So they come out of the weekend as one of the top offense entering play on Tuesday. They lead the nation in doubles, runs per game. They also rank second in runs scored, fourth in strikeouts per 9 innings with their pitching staff, 8th in on-base percentage, 10th in walks. They had a hell of a weekend coming out. Now, make no mistake about it, when they come to Knoxville tomorrow night, they're not playing Lafayette, they're playing Tennessee. But I've said this before, anytime Tennessee plays a midweek game against an in-state rival, you can bet they're going to bring it. And you can bet there's a lot of Knoxville guys on that ETSU team. I was looking through their roster earlier. There's probably the biggest portion of that roster as far as guys from one place is from Knoxville. They got a couple guys from the Tri-Cities, but most of it's around that Knoxville, Kodak. I think I saw 1 or 2 from Athens area. Think these guys aren't going to come in fired up to play tomorrow night? Yeah, you can bet they will, and I hope Tennessee replicates that energy as well. Like I said, I'm excited. I think it'll be a fun game. Probably be a pretty good crowd tomorrow night. I would expect you'll get some ETSU people travel down for it, and hopefully the Tennessee fans bring it as well, make it a nice, good in-week, in-state rivalry atmosphere. But what I'm looking for out of Tennessee tomorrow night, again, previewing ETSU, that's what you're looking for out of their stats. It's a team that coming out of that weekend, they hit the ball. They hit it well. Looking at their statistics, who stands out to me based on what I see? Cameron Cisneros, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Started all 3 games. He was 6 out of 12, hit 500 over the weekend, 1 home run, 3 doubles, slugged 1,000, 667 on base, only struck out 1 time, stole a base. Let's see, J.D. Yakubinas. Again, I hope I didn't pronounce. I'm trying to pronounce it right, but 455 out of the weekend, 6 RBIs. Cisneros had 10 RBIs over 3 games. That's pretty impressive right there. Nick Iannatone, 417 over the weekend, 3 games that he played. No home runs, 4 RBIs. Cooper Torres started 2 games over the weekend. He hit 375. Just a lot of good averages up and down this lineup over the weekend. I'm looking at 500, 500, 455, 429, 417, 375, 364, 300. Jackson Green, 2 games, looks like 3 at bats, 667. Tommy Barth, 429. Ryan McCarthy, 400. Noah Webb, 250. So, again, the competition is going to be quite a bit different for ETSU, but it's a game I fully expect will be tough for Tennessee. I have no doubt about it. And Tennessee last night against UNC Asheville, only 5 hits. What I liked about it, I talked about it on my post game. What I liked was, it wasn't a perfect. I really wasn't that upset over the game. They only had 5 strikeouts. Dylan Dreiling had 3 of them. He's got to step up and put the ball in play. It can't be all or nothing. Okay, you got to get the ball in play. But what I liked was 7th inning. You got 2 guys on. Cannon Peebles comes up. He pinch hit for Charlie Taylor. He hit the sack, basically a sack fly, hit it to right field, moved the guy to third. And then Hunter Inslee worked the count, had 2 strikes on him, and he come through with a big hit, a sack fly, and that ended up being the difference in the game. And hats off to him. Being hard on him all that out of that leadoff spot, but he did his job and got that run in last night and won that game. So I expect you'll see Inslee. I'm curious with Dreiling because he's striking out a little bit too much, and something I want to see out of Tennessee. One thing we'll nitpick on their offense. Again, only 5 strikeouts last night. Had some hard hit balls. They've not scored in the first inning yet. They've not scored in the first inning. I'd like to see them get out of the gates a hot start. They're going to need to tomorrow night as well because based on what we're seeing, this looks like a team that can hit coming in. And ETSU already has their starters. Derek McCarley, he threw 1 inning over the weekend, and it was a perfect inning. He faced 3 hitters, and he struck them all out. He's a redshirt sophomore out of Seymour. He's probably going to come in amped up tomorrow night. Let's face it, he's probably going to come in pretty fired up. And last year, in 2023, he had a 5.76 ERA, 2 wins, 1 loss. He only started 1 game. In 25 innings, he had 39 strikeouts. He had 3 saves. He led ETSU in strikeouts, so he's getting a little bit of a midweek start. Again, he pitched an inning over the weekend. I don't know how many innings he goes for it. Like I said, he only started 1 game last year. In those 25 innings, he gave up 33 hits, 19 runs, 16 earned. He walked 16 as well. So I think this is a guy Tennessee can work the count with. But again, it's a guy who strikes out a lot of batters. And he's a left-hander. I like seeing a left-hander, especially a strikeout lefty against this team because that's the kind of pitchers who've given Tennessee trouble in the past. So how does Tony Vitello change his lineup around? I think you'll see Peebles back in tomorrow night. Don't know it for sure. I think he'll be in somewhere. If not catching, he'll be DHing. Villeneuve probably back in. I'm curious to see if they maybe go Villeneuve over Dreiling tomorrow night. If they give Dreiling a night off against the lefty, or they keep him in. Dreiling is, I think, one of their best hitters. Biggest thing for him, he's got to knock down the strikeouts. Billy Amick's going to be in. You can bet on that. Christian Moore will be in. Blake Burke, you got to think he's back in. Inslee. Kavarsatiers, 2 games in a row. He's had really good games. I'm curious to see where they go with second base. I want to see Dean Curley. The announcer said that he's ready to go. I want to see him in the lineup, see what he's got. Laurie's, he's had a couple moments, but overall I think we've seen what we need to see out of him. Ethan Payne didn't really do much in his shot last night either. So who else can they work in with it? I think that Villeneuve being a righty, you've got to see him in, especially going against that left-hander. So what's some opportunity? Does this team come out of the gates tomorrow night ready to rock and roll? Or is it, I kind of felt at times they went through the motions tonight, but they still got the win. I keep saying it over and over. They're going to have to bring it against this ETSU team just because it's there'll be some emotions. There'll be some amped up guys out there tomorrow night. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. It's an in-state game, which they're always fun. There's always a little bit more excitement with those. That's the beauty about college baseball. You never know. It's not like football. It's not like basketball. You play, a lower level team. For the most part, you're going to beat those teams pretty handily. That ain't always the case with baseball. We've seen that over the years. But for Tennessee's pitching, this one I'm curious to see who starts tomorrow. I don't know. I'm going to say Matthew Dallas starts tomorrow night, and I don't know that, and I have nothing to go off of. I'm just looking at who's available. The three guys who pitched last night: Schaefer, Banky, and Hundley. They're not going to be available. I don't think Nate Snead's available. Would they go back with Sechrist? I don't think so. I expect to see him pitch again Sunday. Could you see a Marcus Phillips? He was warming up a little bit in the pen late. Could he throw? I'm going to go with Matthew Dallas. Now, you got a few other guys who've not thrown yet as well. Brady Robertson, J.J. Garcia. Could you see them make their debuts tomorrow night? Maybe one of the other freshman pitchers that is, they've not committed to redshirting. But I don't know. I'm going to go Dallas, and then probably be some other guys. But could you see a Stamos get an inning or so tomorrow night? Could you see Aaron Combs possibly throw a little bit? I don't know. I figure they save him more for the weekend. I mean, who knows? Maybe they surprise me and go Causey tomorrow night. I think Causey's going to be more of a weekend guy as well. So it's that's the interesting thing. Now we know it being the first week of midweek games. We'll know more next week on it. I think we'll have a better idea. But if I had to guess, I'm saying Matthew Dallas tomorrow night. He may not even throw. Maybe he's safe for the weekend. But that's where I'm going to go with it. But hopefully you guys could join me tomorrow night. I'm going live again tomorrow night. We're going to try it out. We're going to keep rolling with this thing and keep building it. And hopefully it'll catch here at some point. Hopefully the word will get out. So if you like what I'm doing, you're tuning in stuff, if you can help me share this thing out, just try to drive the viewers out where we can continue to cover this baseball. And, one step at a time. Rome was not built in a day. It wasn't built in a month and a half either, but very happy with where this thing's going. Thank you guys for tuning in with me. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. Have a great Wednesday. I'll see you this evening. And as always, go Vols.
Everyone rejects me.